Good day to you all, and thanks for joining me for another episode of City Skylines, Appletown, a new beginning. Looking at this fine town and what we've done so far to enhance it, and I think it is coming along very splendidly, especially when you look at it with this camera view. Just take a look around and see the beauty of this region. Now, I see some things I don't like, but overall, this is quite a city now. And let's just dive right in and take a look. So, off camera, I went ahead and finished. I don't know if I did this in the last episode. Started to name communities, and we have them all named now. So when I'm referring to this area here, the Summit District, we can see what the districts look like here. I think I got them all, and might change the name of a couple if some of them I just took what the default name was, and sometimes I don't particularly care for that. But we have almost every area named, and we'll be modifying those, of course. But to jump right in, let me cover what we did in the last episode. And we have Lilac Park now. That was our big expansion project, and we could do some zoning here. And we have Bent Tree over here. This was already built. I believe we put in these roads here. And what else did we do? I believe I did. I remember zoning some areas and getting some zones filled in to deal with some demand. Right now, our demand is, reasonable. Let's take a look at how we're doing. We've got plenty of electricity. We went through an electricity spike for some reason. I'm not sure what would have caused that, and I had to go build extra electricity. That was during the last, I think it was episode 9. Water. We've got plenty of water and plenty of sewage. Trash capacity. We have plenty of capacity. We might want to think about building another incinerator at some point to deal with emptying the last of the we've got a landfill here and a landfill left here. I think those are the only 2 landfills, and this guy isn't even full. That's why you have a little bit of capacity still in landfill. And then this guy is full, and he is not emptying, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start emptying him. I think these guys can handle it. I saw some trash bots like down here in the corner of Briarwood Square. Maybe having trouble reaching. I put in another incinerator last episode, so we'll see how that goes. We'll keep an eye on it. 80% happiness. I think we could make that a little better. We'll have to work on that. Commercial happiness 69. Offices, they always seem to be happy no matter which game I'm in. 86 in industrial. Healthcare, we're doing fine. We've got a heal capacity of 1,000. We could probably improve our average health. Death care, we don't have a lot of cemetery left. And we've got not a lot of capacity for crematoriums, which means we probably are at the start of a death wave, but we'll come back to that in a moment. Our levels, we are getting a little bit more in the way of level 5 residential. Mostly we're level 4, and we get a little bit of level 3. Our commercial is just kind of languishing in level 2. Not much in level 3, so we probably need to work on that. Industrial is doing fine with 2 and 3 all, and office is mostly 3. So that's why you see those great numbers in office. Pollution is reasonable. traffic, 76%. We're going to work on traffic in a minute. Fire safety is pretty good. The hazard is low. Noise level, I don't know how you reduce that really if you're going to have highways and stuff. Crime rate 6%. We got plenty of jail capacity. We've got 1,025 in transport. We probably could work on that a bit. I saw some issues last episode that we could work on. 4% unemployment. This is what I wanted to look at. Population 48,422. I kind of wanted to see where we were at here with regard to the crematorium and death care in general. 24% senior. Now, earlier on, I said 25% was pretty high. 24% to me seems pretty high. But we're not running like crazy, 236 to 187 on births versus deaths. You know, if people aren't moving out, our population really shouldn't be going down quite yet. Outside connections. Our imports are, I think they're up. They were way down. Our exports are up. They were way down. But they're nothing compared to what they were. Tourism, 59. We're going to deal with tourism a little bit during this episode. Land value, 31. Simoleon cents, whatever, per square meter. So we'll keep an eye on that and just see if that goes up. Now this green is high, very high. So you can see that they like living here along the river. And you can see that Lincoln Park and Southside are all really desirable places along this river, of course. And up here it gets almost turning green. A little bit on the right side of the blue here. So some desirable areas. Now, interestingly, this is just all average, and I would think being up here on the mountainside, I mean, you take a view from some of these places. If you're on the street side or something, they would have an excellent view of the town. So anyway, that is about it. And I think what I might do is go ahead and, the housekeeping portion of each episode, I don't want it to go on too long. I don't think we did a housekeeping in the last episode. This is bothering me a little bit. That is just pretty close. So I think what I'm going to do is put in a crematorium. And there's just a little spot right there. This is residential. And you know what? They don't have one up here either. So you know what? I think I'm going to do two. I'm going to do one there. And these guys, this is strange. I thought for sure we had put in crematoriums. So I'm going to go ahead and put in those two and refrain from that area. Let me see what's down here on the south side. Okay, yeah, I had put one down here. And we don't really have one, and we don't have any capacity right now. Both of these guys are totally full. So I'm going to go ahead and plop a third one. Now that's going to give us, if we just run the simulation for a minute here, that's going to bump that up a bit to 1155. But I think the important thing is to have plenty of capacity. Okay, now I had noted, let's get going on what we need to do. I think we can focus just on the building, and we will get with that in just a minute. What are we going to do? Well, you might notice there's a couple of things that are examples. We've started to get quite a backup here. Our traffic flows down to 75, 76%, something like that. And this has turned into a little bit of a nightmare scenario for traffic. It's not terrible, but it is busy enough to where it is causing some slowdown. So what I want to do is I'm going to modify this a little bit and build a bridge here, and I'm going to modify this a bit and get things to be a through road, which seems kind of weird with this huge hill. I could try to flatten that out a little bit, but I'm gonna refrain from that. So I need to do a couple things to do this. So what we're gonna do is build a road coming up over here and coming across the highway here, and coming out between Town Park and what is Robin Park and the villages down here. So a couple of housekeeping things. We're probably going to affect this power line here. So I am going to do a redundant power line straight across to the northern part of Crestview Heights here. I might rename that. Now, this area over here we haven't really modified, and in my mind this is too much, especially to have this right after you have all of this. And I have been really contemplating a complete redesign of this and this, all of this interaction here, especially now that we have this really, really solid intersection here. But if you cut off all of this, you're going to run into some problems. So you still need traffic to be able to flow down here, and you need traffic to flow over here. But I think we could do this with a little less real estate. But right now, since this is still here, something that I have not really liked is this stuff being right up against the highway. And we were having backups here, but of course the demand on this went down when we gave access over here on this side. And it is helped by this intersection over here feeding this particular Robin Heights industrial. All right, so what are we going to do here? We are going to fix a couple things. We've got to take, go pretty much straight up. I'm going to move this guy over here so as to not, I think there are a lot of people stopped there. All right, and then now that we don't need a second one of that. Now notice how this comes in and Moore Street and all of this. I am going to break some things here, and I'm just going to go into silent mode for a few minutes here and just you'll see what I am deciding to do. Okay, I'm a little worried about this little cross street, but I want people to be able to cross between the areas. It is a little bit. It's a little bit going to be a little bit funky. Now, something I'm going to do, I'm going to build a little community over here that is going to feed into um, a the tourist specialist area. This is now tourist specialist, and that's why you can see some vacancies happening because I changed it over to tourism. So the not totally sure that I've thought this completely through, but this Robin Park, how far over does it go? All right, what I've done, I've actually built an access road here. This I'm going to beautify with some trees and stuff into Crestview Heights, but this community over here will be a continue this residential, and then down here will be the tourist area that we're going to develop. So I don't know if I love this or not, what I've done here. And I think I'm going to experiment with something here for a moment. And this is going to act as the turnaround for people that come up here that want to go the other direction, and I might get rid of this guy. I don't know. Haven't actually decided about that. But let me go into build mode again, and I'll show you what my vision is for this community here. I'm going to rethink my idea about Robin Park here. I think this is going to be an extension of Crestview Heights, and Robin Park, I'm going to go ahead and reduce its size down to just east of the interstate. or the divided highway. So Robin Park is going to go through a metamorphosis there. I'm just thinking you don't want a lot of traffic flowing through your neighborhood, and this is going to be definitely going to be. I'm going to rename this. I don't like Crestview Heights, but this is definitely going to be residential that we're promoting here. So maybe the way to do it, and this isn't it isn't a lot of area here, and maybe I could rethink this road. I don't know if I like it or not. Some things I'm going to have to think about. But let's let the simulation run for a minute, and you can see all these buildings are rebuilding themselves for that tourist specialization. Now, I'm kind of thinking, I think what I'm going to do is, let's see, where are we at with, okay, we've got plenty of capacity in the high school arena. I think I'm going to go ahead and move the high school. I'm going to go ahead and move the high school. Now, there's a high school here that really can service all of this area, but there's nothing up this way. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put the high school over here. Let me preserve. Okay, now I got to fix my bike path. Let's fix that bike path. So that really shifts that high school to service. The nice thing about that is Lilac Park had to come down to this high school, which was fine, but if we look at coverage zones for the high school, it really doesn't cover them, but this one doesn't cover them either. So, but it makes it a lot more accessible than coming all the way over here. And then what this enables us to do is to extend Robin Park all the way up to and including, get away from Mr. Chirper there. So we can extend Robin Park, make it a little bit bigger. I think I'm just going to go with that concept. And then I don't want the buildings to be super close to the highway, but I'm going to go ahead and just cut that through. Alright, so Robin Park, there isn't a tremendous amount of demand right now. Let me get that going. And anyway, we'll build it and maybe they will come. As the saying goes. Build it and they will come. Alright, so the tourism is strictly kept on this side of the road. Now, what we've done, once again, is we've shifted things, and you can see the backup here and even on the bridge and everything has flipped. Now, you may be questioning why I have such low capacity roads going. You can see a lot of truck traffic coming through here, and I probably have not helped our 79%. So I did help our traffic flow a bit. I'm giving them another way to get to and from. And there's a little bit of demand here. Let me fill in enough of, let's just go ahead and go over here. And we'll get rid of this once we get this area built up. I did want to put in a small playground here. And we might as well throw a dog park in for good measure. They like their dog parks. Okay, I've got to get some cycling in through here, and quite a demand here. So I think what I'm going to have to do is, it's not that big of a deal, but let me just go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and do another road over here, and I should have just done this, and I just kind of short-sightedness on my part to think that, and I don't know if this is going to create more of a hassle or not. It may. This may backfire on me because you change the dynamic. You automatically change the dynamic as soon as you start messing with these things. I'm not positive this is the best way to go, but I'm going to give it a try. Since we have this pretty high demand, and I want to study something here for a minute. Hold on. I'm going to look and see. We've got trucks doing a turnaround here for whatever reason. I find that to be kind of interesting. Why? Alright, I'm going to go, folks, I'm going to go down a road here. We let this roll a little bit. Ooh, we're down to 46,000, so we're definitely in a death wave. See, we have some trucks. What I'm noticing is there's some trucks, let's see where he's going, that are using this as a turnaround. So they're going up here. What I need to figure out is, where did this guy come from? Because if he came from here, oh yeah, that's probably where he came from. Maybe he came from here, came up here, and there's no good way. But if he came from there, why wouldn't he just go here and then turn around there? So let's do some examination. They need an all button here. So now we do have some people turning around from there. None from there. But we definitely have a little bit of that going on. Just a little bit. So that's interesting that we had a little bit of that. Well, let's see here. Hold on. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, definitely some that are turned around, but anyway. Alright, so this guy is going to change direction. And inevitably, you're going to get the turnarounds here. That always seems to happen. Now let's see how this behaves now. Yeah, we have the turnarounds going on. And we got to let this run for a couple of minutes. We also have a lot of traffic coming straight through here. So we may be dealing with, we could be dealing with a shift here. Sorry about that. Valley Boulevard. Let's see what we've got going on here. Yeah, we have a little bit of a shift going on. Now, these guys are turning around there, and we'll watch that, because I remember I mentioned that could be an issue. And I put this turnaround. I don't know if that's the best way to do it. And honestly, if anybody wants to make a comment, I will admit that I record these. I'm a little behind on my editing, so I record these in advance, so I may not be able to do anything that you suggest, like in the next episode, because I haven't caught up to being live, where I'm publishing and doing all that first. But I wanted to let this go and see what happens on it, and see if it gets a little better. But the turnarounds are definitely happening, and I didn't really build this straight either. It seems to be a little bit off, but that's okay. That is definitely a popular turn, but you can see that the traffic flow is starting to get there, and I think there's definitely a demand that's been created now. If you look at this, see they're trying to turn there. So I'm going to cut them off. And of course, that's the whole reason why I did the turnaround, because legitimately people want to go this direction. And they used to have a method to be able to do that. So we'll see how that turns out. You could argue, why not do a turnaround here? Now, here's the thing. If you want to go this direction on the highway, I have not allowed you a way to do that. So if you come up here and you want to go down this way, you have to come down here, and um, you really don't have a way to go south on this road. There's absolutely no way to do that. That is a thing that we're going to have to be aware of if we were to buy this square and this becomes a thoroughfare. For that, because there's really just the only way you can get on this highway right now going southbound is from coming up here and traversing this. So I don't know. I think my design here is flawed. I mean, I'm going 2 into 3. I could just go ahead and make that a 3. And that might help things just stack a little bit better. See, we just had somebody come through. I'm not even going to mess with it. I'm just going to do it. It's going to be 3 all the way across, but that's not going to help for the amount of traffic that is heading this direction. And something I just noticed. You got to give them multiple routes. So give them a route around the hospital there, and then that will relieve a little bit of pressure here because a lot of deliveries have to come over here. So imagine that if you're a truck and you need to get to this neighborhood, the only way to get, or to this Robin Park, the only way to get there is to come down here, turn right, and come up into the neighborhood. I don't know. I'm going to let that go. You can see it started backing up, and now it's doing a little bit better. I put 3-lane all the way. I think this other direction, honestly, could just be 2 lanes all the way. Usually I try to make them equal. And, oops, that was a mistake. Come back here. Didn't mean to disrupt. Those are all services there. You've got a police station and a firehouse, which they can only go one direction, and then they can't even get over to this area here. So that's a bit of a problem too. So let me, you don't always think about all of the ramifications of what you do. At least I don't, until you've already done them. So go ahead and build another firehouse there. So I don't understand sometimes why the area doesn't turn green when you build a firehouse on it. See, I've got a firehouse built there, and I guess because I wasn't running the simulation. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, demand, yes, it's up. So let's build some. We're going to go ahead and build some higher density to be along not absolutely right along the highway. I'm not going to put anything over here. And I'll go ahead and do that as high density also. Then I think I want all of this to be lower density. Once again, let's go there. And let's go there. And we're going to go ahead. I don't like these roads, but we're winding down, by the way. We're almost through this episode, and I appreciate you watching along with me. as usual. It is a fun thing to do these videos, and the amazing thing is how much time it takes to actually put together the video. And I don't, maybe other people have better methods. I don't have a lot of great equipment at this point. I am using built-in software to do my editing, and that is, as we all know, that can be, it's all about, it's not about necessarily the tools. If you have the vision, you can do what you want, but once you have the vision, having the right tools is immensely helpful. So get this street developed. Took care of that demand. Now we're going to have to answer to some of the demand issues for commercial here. So I'm going to go ahead and start answering that demand. Now, it's going to be interesting. Make sure Robin is where I expect it to be. Okay, so all of the specialization is over here. It doesn't really matter. This is residential along the river anyway. And it's not totally necessary to do this, but anyway, a lot of fun. I just want to tell you, I have a lot of fun doing these videos, and I hope you have fun watching. I watch some Let's Plays. Conflict Nerd, I really like watching him. He is an interesting guy. I'd love to talk to him about, is it all one take? Because I do not find one take to be very easy. And I'd like to get the methodology that others use in Let's Plays. I mean, I understand about live broadcasts. That's quite a different matter, but I think it helps to clean up areas, when you make mistakes or whatever. I think it really helps to clean that stuff up for the viewers and keeping the interest. All right, I think we've labored on this enough. I might build a little bit more community area down here off of Crestview Heights and bring them a little bit closer. I may not. The other thing I think I'm aware that I want to do is I want to get this highway and move it. I'll probably do that offline. I'm going to move the highway a little closer to this highway and get them a little further away from this community. I think that would look a little bit cleaner and better. But this is actually flowing pretty well now. And, we've still got the turnarounds, and we still don't have the access to the highway. I think I'm going to go ahead and build that. And then we'll close for the day. We're getting real close on time, so let's do that. And something I've been meaning to do, just in case you are interested in which mods I'm using. That guy's a little bit off, but I'm going to make that a goal of mine to put those in the description of these videos. All right. So we have taken care of that problem. We now have access to the south. This wouldn't have snapped too because of the pillar that's below there, so I couldn't make it even with the other side. So if anybody's going to yell at me. All right, well, as usual, thanks for the view. Thanks for watching and putting up with me. And, like I said, this is my first venture into doing Let's Plays. So any suggestions that you have, just, give me a holler in the comments. And I'll be more than happy. Like I said, I'm recording ahead. I'll be more than happy to maybe incorporate that into who knows what my next project will be, and who knows how long I'll be working on this guy. But thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.